the station just to talk about what was happening locally, some of the pressures, and there's obviously, it was evidenced last night in the job allocations, a number of domestic violence incidents that the police were responding to, and the cost of living pressure is a factor that feeds into that dynamic. So there are many reasons why we need to change this government, why we need to get our country back on track, but also, as people in Leichhardt know, at this election, a vote for Jeremy Neal is a vote for this additional funding into general practice, and we need to get more general practitioners into practices, particularly in regional areas. And the work that JCU has done, the completion rates and the way in which the training is conducted, I think is very conducive to increasing the numbers of general practitioners that stay in town. And the JCU success rate is something that I think we really should highlight as a great success story in the space of general practice training across the country. So the 25 places is something that Jeremy's been fighting for, and people know that if they vote for Jeremy Neal, they're going to get more local doctors. They're also going to get $6 million more for the local headspace, and headspace is something that we've invested in for a long period of time. As Health Minister, I really made a significant decision to invest more into headspace because it provides that primary care response for young people presenting with mental health conditions, and it has made a big difference in the lives of hundreds of thousands of Australians. So I'm really pleased to be here today to make those announcements. Look, as people vote today and right up until the polling closes next Saturday, Australians do have a choice to make. The choice is to continue what we've had under Labor over the last 3 years. That is higher prices for everything. It's uncertainty, and it means the loss of the dream of home ownership for young Australians. The chance to change government means that a coalition government will reduce the cost of petrol prices by 25 cents a litre. We'll give you $1,200 back through a tax rebate of your own money. We will restore the dream of home ownership through our 5-point plan. We're going to get our economy back on track, and we're going to have energy security so that we can bring prices down and so that we can have reliability of energy supply as well. None of that is on offer under Labor. So there is a big decision for Australians to make, and as we know, there's something like 1 in 3 Australians who are undecided or soft voters at the moment. That is a historically high number in federal elections, and it shows that people are weighing up their options as we approach this weekend. Australians cannot afford 3 more years of Labor, and I want to make sure that we talk every day about our positive plan of helping Australians, of making sure that we can keep our country safe and secure, and helping Australians through the 25 cent a litre cut in fuel tax, as well as a $1,200 tax rebate. That will help Australians deal with Labor's cost of living crisis now, and then we can clean up that mess progressively with the new energy system that we bring in. That will bring down the prices of groceries and the manufacturing costs and the costs of construction materials, etc., etc.
Mate, if you reckon this country isn't completely cooked right now, you're either blind, brainwashed, or working in Parliament. Peter Dutton's just rocked up in Cairns, flogging off promises like a dodgy car salesman at a Sunday market, talking big about doctors, mental health, and bloody tax rebates like we haven't heard it all before. But here's the kicker. This campaign ain't about saving Aussies. It's about saving their own arses. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to get steamrolled by the same mob that's been playing political ping pong with your future for years. Before we cannonball into this political dumpster fire, where Dutton's tossing bribes like candy, Albanese looks like he's aged 10 years overnight, and the entire election smells faker than a sausage roll at a servo. Punch that like button like it owes you rent. Subscribe if you're done with the sugar-coated bull the mainstream feeds you. And hey, don't miss the Make Albo Great Again tea. Still just $16 for the next 48 hours. Wear it loud when the truth finally explodes across Australia. Dutton reckons he's going to slash fuel prices by 25 cents a litre. Mate, that's rich coming from a bloke who's never had to worry about filling up a tank in a busted Hilux before payday. Went $200 back in your pocket, he says, like it's a bloody lottery win. But ask yourself, how do they always have a plan right before an election? Why not 6 months ago, when people were lining up at food banks and deciding between feeding the kids or paying rent? Suddenly, now they care? Pull the other one, mate. And don't even get me started on this whole bring back the dream of home ownership fantasy. Mate, the only people buying homes these days are boomers, foreign investors, and crypto bros who cashed out at the right time. The rest of us are stuck in rental hell, getting booted every 6 months by landlords who've added a feature wall and now want $200 more a week. Dutton reckons he's got a 5-point plan. What's that? Raise the ceiling, drop the floor, and pray to Bunnings? But here's the real spicy bit. You hear him slip in the line about keeping our country safe and secure. That's not just your average political waffle. That's dog whistle politics at its finest. It's the same old fear-mongering they pull out every time they're tanking in the polls. Scare the battlers with some vague threat, promise to be the strong man, and hope no one asks about the details. Keeping us safe from what, Pete? Teenagers on TikTok? Solar panels? Now, don't get me wrong. Labor's been no walk in the park either. Albanese looks like he's aged 40 years since taking the gig. And honestly, he's been MIA more than a backpacker during cyclone season. But Dutton trying to ride in as some savior? That's like hiring the bloke who crashed your car to come fix the engine. He's not new, he's just rebranded, like a Woolies mud cake with a gourmet label slapped on it. And did you catch that bit about headspace? Mate, mental health is no joke. But if Dutton starts taking credit for saving young Aussies with a couple $1 million tossed at a program while ignoring the actual causes, like poverty, unemployment, and housing stress, then I'm sorry, that's pure performative bullshit. It's like giving someone a band-aid for a broken leg and calling yourself a hero. Meanwhile, schools are understaffed, hospitals are packed, and if you try seeing a psychologist without a 6-week waitlist and $300 spare, good luck. Let's talk about Jeremy Neal for a second too, the bloke he's backing in Leichhardt. Apparently, voting for Jez means you get more doctors. Sounds great, but where were these promises before the campaign trail? Why does it take a microphone and a camera for them to pretend they give a toss about regional Australia? Because they don't. They care about votes, mate. Plain and simple. They know regional voters are desperate for attention. So they show up with a few shiny promises like Santa with a PR budget and a dark soul. And now they're talking about energy security again. That classic buzzword. Mate, we've got more sun than half the bloody planet and wind up the wazoo. But somehow, we're still paying record power bills and relying on 30-year-old coal plants to keep the lights on. You know why? Because both sides have been too gutless to stand up to the fossil fuel mob who bankroll half their campaigns. And you better believe if Dutton gets his way, we'll be neck deep in new gas projects before you can say climate emergency. Look, I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. But if you think any of this is about you, your family, your future, your bloody right to a fair go, then I've got a bridge to sell you. What we're watching is a political circus, and Dutton just wants to be the ringmaster while the whole tent's on fire. It's a choice between weak leadership and authoritarian cosplay. And if we don't start calling this stuff out, if we just keep swallowing the same reheated leftovers wrapped in Aussie flags and empty slogans, then we deserve what's coming. So yeah, smash that like button like you're slapping sense into a Canberra staffer. Subscribe for more unfiltered Aussie rants, and don't forget, this isn't just about politics. It's about power and who actually gets it when the dust settles. The system's broken, mate, and no amount of Dutton's spin is going to glue it back together. And one last thing. Make Albo great. Again, shirts are going fast. Get yours now, because once this circus implodes, they might be worth more than the Aussie dollar.